Last year, my figure of the year was this Spider Frank by Minibigs. And I'm a little late to the party, but they released some brand new figures recently, including another Frank Reynolds costume from that Halloween episode that the Spider Frank was from. Their Kratos that's a bit more classic styled and some more fun parts. Very excited to take a look at all of these, so let's go ahead and get these out of the plastic bags and onto the stand. Just going over some of the parts that they had available. Here is their Yo MTV Raps torso that they made. That is a shirt design. Back has a little bit more of that collar. Just the logo printing on the front. These legs are older. They weren't available this time around. Just threw them on just to show off. Here are some Minibig's legs. And here's a nice screaming head that was printed. And it's based off of Fallout bricks on Instagram. So kind of fun to get those. Thought these would be useful. I got one in that glittery trans clear. Thought that would be fun for a ghost of some sort. And I usually always get a flesh and a yellow head just because I think that is one of the more useful kind of colors for me. But that is it. Let's jump on to the other Fig Barf, which has their really fun monkey torso here. And then their newest version of their tattoo head. Plus again, just an older pair of Minifig's legs being those bloody ones. This also just has a collar on the back. But I love this design. I got it in dark pink just because I thought that'd be a fun color. This tattoo head is also joins the ranks of their previous two. You can see it is a lot closer to their version 1 there, where they just switched out the Minifig's tattoos for the top of the eyes with the cross. So it's always fun to see them update that design. That's all that we have here. A couple more heads to look at though. And for those, it is a typical Lego frowny face in the style of their smiley one, but frowning. And then the block there with the Kratos face print. I just thought it'd be fun to have one of those. And speaking of that, let's get onto that Kratos figure. And for this figure, definitely based off of that PS1 era style, where it just has the simple tattoos, doesn't go into super detail like the more contemporary version of the character. But looking at the really nice belt printing there with the metallic gold, that has a crazy level of detail. I'm sure that took a lot of troubleshooting on their part to make sure that it wasn't smearing in any way. And it has a really great effect. You can see it as the light is reflecting on it, just the intricate design work there. Plus dual molded legs. And I just wanted to show it off without the accessories first, but I'll go ahead and throw on the waist cape, plus the pretty simple Lego axe that they end up using pretty often. Definitely fits for the character. The cloth material here is pretty thick compared to what Lego might actually use. You can see right there it is sticking out a little bit weird. So you might want to spend a couple of minutes creasing that just to give it more shape and so it positions in the right way, the way you would like it to. But this is a cool, nice level of detail. Very nice amount of colors on the torso even for them. They can only do one color at a time, so they're individually lining all these up. So it's great to see them go for, I think, 4 colors on that torso. That's great. Also, just getting arm printing on one of their figures is always cool. They don't always go ahead and do that, but you got to do that for Kratos with his tattoos. Very impressed here for a more classic style figure. I do think this hits the mark for video game fans, but also I'm sure you could figure out different ways to use a character like this in your displays. Just having like a barbarian of some sort, if you're doing like Viking builds or anything like that. But glad to have this one. And I also have the Bagels version pre-ordered that's going to be based off of the Ragnarok design, I'm pretty sure. So it'll be nice to have a classic style one for the original games and then the newer, more detailed version when I get that one. But with this figure out of the way, let's go on to Frank. And this is a figure that they've been teasing for a while, and it is great to finally have it in hand. You can see that they have that nice Lego part here from one of the collectible minifigure series characters, and they cut off the bottom so it fits this design a lot better. In the show, it's one of those costumes where you have like the foam arms sticking out on strings, so when you move your arms, they all move together. And I love this figure. I really hope that they go and make more It's Always Sunny stuff. They made a couple torsos now, and then the 2 different Frank figures. But I'd love to get the Charlie jacket. I think that would be the next item I would be looking for. And you'd be surprised. You'd think, oh, it's the same character with the same sort of mask setup. They'd use the same printing, but you can see that they are actually completely different. Even the faces different line thickness. So shows a little bit of evolution there on the design process probably. They went ahead and improved this a bit. Thinner lines, and it's kind of cool to see it. Around those googly eyes, they also have black outline. So they went ahead and added black on black, which would make sense when they're printing these on different colors, which they usually do for misprints. On a black one, you know, it's not as noticeable, but is a nice detail. And the white on the black also looks great. I'm sure they added a couple layers of ink there to make sure that it showed pretty true. And overall, the line works really great. But that's not it for the printing, because if you look at the back of the torso, there are some creases, and then the back muscle lines there. So part of the figure that was going to be covered by those spider legs anyway also gets printing, so that it shows the above and beyond details for this figure. I'm very glad to have an additional It's Always Sunny character in my collection. So let's go ahead and get into the comparisons and the final verdict. This is one of their biggest releases to date, and I'm very happy with what I got. You know, I always love getting just those random torsos to have more in my Lego shirt collection. Plus, the figures that they released are also great. Having multiple It's Always Sunny figures is really awesome. I hope they really keep putting more of those out. Plus, more of those classic style figures isn't bad either. And it's kind of fun to have a little collection here of different pop culture stuff with video game character, and then the 2 movie characters here on that older Lego style. Those classic style minifigures aren't always necessarily my favorite, but you can meet that happy medium of detail, but also simplicity. And I think Kratos here is a great example of that. Fits very nice next to their older style bone saw as well. And it wasn't my favorite at the time necessarily, but the Pulp Fiction collab with SJ Bricks is also pretty decent. Obviously, the standout for me is going to be this brand new Frank minifigure. It's fun to have the 2 different Halloween costumes there, but for me, definitely need some normal figures from that, even if it is just a head at a time for each character or a torso at a time. It'd be great to be able to build out that collection a little bit more. And let me know, did you pick up any of these? Are you planning to now that you've seen the video? And if you want to see more Minibigs reviews or custom Lego videos overall, check out all the other videos on my channel. I've been Brick Radiop, and I'll see you in the next video.